Councilman Munger,
Present.
Councilman Genzel,
Present.
Supervisor Ballo,
Here.
Councilman Bordway,
Present.
Councilman Keating,
Present.
Councilman Keating.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have one thing under preliminary matters. Councilman Bender.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. For those who've been around, have known I've been working on a municipal pool grant. Unfortunately, we came in at $2.1 million, which is just not affordable for this community. So we've downsized it to a splash pad with a couple bathrooms and a mechanical room to apply for this grant. This grant is from New York State and up to $500,000 with the town match of 100%. So what we did was downsize the project to a splash pad, like I had said, so I need to go through some of the seeker review information here before we put the grant application in, so bear with me folks here because I'm going to read a little bit of information. It's going to be a motion. I make a motion that the town declares lead agency status for the purpose of the environmental review of the project. The town has classified this as unlisted. The town has conducted a non-coordinated review as there are no other interested or involved parties. The town has taken a hard look at the environmental impact of this project and determined no significance. The town has determined that the project will not have a significant adverse effect on the environment. The town has prepared a negative declaration pursuant to Part 617 State Environmental Equality Review. Now we have the project will not have a negative impact on the land, air, or water. The project will not have a negative impact on the characteristics of the neighborhood. The project is an extension of the recreation features that are already in place on the property. The project has a minimum footprint and will not substantially increase runoff or change the natural path of the existing runoff. The project will not have a negative impact on traffic, energy, or agricultural assets, or habitat. The project will not generate solid or liquid waste. The project will not disrupt habitat or detract from historical or archaeological assets. So I make a motion to approve the environmental impact.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Later in the meeting, I have items 3 and 4 on new business, and that'll be the resolutions for some different information to get to the grant writer. So that's all I have right now, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you.
Item number 2 under regular business, we have the correction and adoption of minutes from June 15, 2016. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. I'll second that.
Councilman Munger,
No.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Item number 2 under regular business is consideration of all fund bills. Councilman Keating.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This time I've had the opportunity to review all the bills. I'd like to make a motion to approve the total bills totaling $224,410.16.
I will second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Bordway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 3 is actually a correspondence from New York State Department of Public Service regarding proposed increase for National Fuel Gas Distribution Corporation gas delivery rates. We're going to move that down to item number 5 under correspondence. Item number 3 is correspondence. We have correspondence tonight from Planning Board for the agenda for June 20, 2016, from Zoning Board agenda, July 7, 2016, Planning Board set their summer schedule. Planning Board request for town attorney's opinion. Just to note that Boston Planning Board at its meeting on Tuesday, June 28, 2016, set the summer schedule meeting for July 19, 2016, and August 16, 2016. So they're received and filed. And a correspondence from New York State Department of Public Service regarding proposed increase of national fuel gas distribution. Item number 4 under new business, request from the floor for 3 minutes. Please come up to the mic, state your name and address, 2-minute or 3-minute time.
Don O'Brien, 4718 North Boston Road, speaking on behalf of the Boston Emergency Squad. And this has been going on since February on the demo ambulance. We took delivery. It's been switched over. It's been in service and has been on a couple calls already. We are trying to get rid of the old ambulance at this point. Not get rid of, but sell, just transfer, whatever. But finally, the new one is put to bed and everything's working great. Thanks.
Great.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Well, I don't get to do this very often. Leo Jensen, 8749 South Greenbrier Terrace, Boston, New York. I do appreciate the Bob system in the building that's going to be put in. I'm tired of keys. My keys are very heavy. Thank you. I appreciate you carrying guns, if any of you are, because I feel safer in the meeting with them. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. Appreciate that.
Cynthia Williams, Leela Road. Jeff, this may very well be
Address, please.
7004 Leela.
Thank you.
Sorry. I don't know whether this is in your resolution or not, but I have to talk now. Any possibility that your splash pad can double as a skating rink in winter?
No,
No? Not possible or not in the grant?
not possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's possible.
Okay, make a motion to close the floor.
Second.
You didn't make a
Motion
motion
was
to
made
open.
before. Okay, the floor is closed. Item number 2 under new business. Councilman Hunger.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. On the agenda, it says that it is a request for a display permit. Apparently, by our town code, they don't actually have to request for a display permit. It is more of a courtesy to let everyone know that there will be fireworks on their property. So this is a piece of notice by Danielle and Dan Eaton at 8188 Fedek Road for the date of 8/13/2016, time frame between 9:30 and 11, lasting for 20 minutes. There'll be a fireworks display for the purpose of a wedding set off by Skylighters of New York LLC, headed by Tom Penska and assisted by Eric Schreiber. And I do have the certificate number and the insurance information for Skylighters International. And the only thing that we are going to ask of the Eatons is that they notify our fire departments because of the lack of rain of late, to put somebody on notice to make sure that there are no fire issues. Also, of course, keep dogs inside. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Item number 3 and 4 will be going together. Councilman Genzel.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. These are the resolutions, folks, that I was speaking about. This is Resolution 2016-14, at the regular meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Boston, Erie County, New York, held at Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, on the 6th day of July 2016 at 7:48. There were present Supervisor Baylow, Councilman Boardway, Councilman Genzel, Councilman Keating, Councilman Munger. I present the following resolution and move for its adoption. Now therefore be it resolved that the Boston Town Board does this day hereby endorse and affirm the Town of Boston Parks and Recreation Master Plan developed by the Parks and Recreation Master Plan Committee and Peter J. Schmidt and Company in October of 2001 as a guide for future development of recreation land in the Town of Boston. Do I have a second for this resolution?
Second that.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have Resolution 2016-15. Bear with me, folks, this one's a little longer. The first one was reaffirming we have a master plan and that we encourage the use of it in our Parks Department. The regular meeting of the Town Board, Town of Boston, Erie County, New York, held at the Boston Town Hall, 8500 Boston State Road, Boston, New York, on the 6th day of July, 2016 at 7:48. There were present Supervisor Balo, Councilman Boardway, myself, Councilman Genzel, Councilman Keating, and Councilman Munger. I offer the following resolution and move for its adoption. Whereas the Boston Town Park was originally developed in 1974, and whereas the park has seen extensive use by family and young children, whereas there have been numerous requests for water features, amenities within the Boston, and that currently are not provided anywhere in the Town of Boston. Whereas the demand for water features is a result of overuse of the park because the youth population in the service area of the park has increased in the last 10 years. And whereas there are no similar facilities within 10 miles of the park, and those facilities are suffered from crowding and overuse. And now be it resolved that Connie D. Minor and Company, grant consultants, the town's grant consultant, be authorized and directed to complete the necessary applications, forms, and attachments to be submitted through the New York State Consolidated Funding application for the purpose of securing this grant. And be it further resolved that Martin A. Balo, Supervisor of the Town of Boston, is hereby authorized and directed to sign an application for funds from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historical Preservation in accordance with the provisions of Title IX of the Environmental Protection Act of 1993, or the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund Act of 1965, in the amount of not to exceed $250,000 with town matching funds of $250,000 using a combination of cash and/or in-kind services, and upon approval of said request to enter into and execute a project agreement with the state for such financial assistance to the Town of Boston for the Boston Town Park Phase 2 improvements. Do I have a second for the resolution?
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Genzel,
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo,
Yes.
Councilman Boardway,
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. Just a quick mention, folks, this is a grant, remember, so nothing's guaranteed. So we put in the application, you know, we've gone through this before, you go in a couple times and, you know, eventually you get the money. Evans received a grant for a pool that it took him 5 years to apply. So this is the process you have to follow. We'll wait and hear if we received it, and then we'll move forward with spending any type of money. So the minimal amount has been spent creating a little site plan and the necessary documents to put with this application. So very minimal amount has been spent, tax dollars, on this so far. So I thank the board for approving this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you, Councilman. Item number 5 under old business, we have summer recreation appointments. Councilman Boardway.
And again, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This issue was tabled at the last meeting. We had some last-minute changes. There's an appointment for our summer staff. There's some of the hardest working kids in Erie County. But we still can't afford to pay them $15 an hour. I recommend for appointment to our 2016 summer recreation camp following employees who are returning and new hires. The duration of these jobs, including staff training day and planning for the camp season, begins July 6th to and including August 19th, 2016, with an then final camp wrap-up session on August 22nd. Again, this list is as of today, but will include all the subs, which is who Tony can pick from as people either stop, change their mind, drop out, or don't come. Neil Byrne is camp director. I'm just going to go through the entire list. Neil Byrne is camp director at $14 per hour. Melissa McCaffrey is the site supervisor, who is also an EMT, $11.50 per hour. Brian Kuchala, a site supervisor, $11.50 per hour. Maura Young as a counselor/lifeguard, $9.75 per hour. Eric Huber as a counselor/EMT, $9.50 per hour. Neil Gardner, counselor/lifeguard, $9.25 per hour. Heidi Miller, counselor, $9 per hour. Megan Hopkins, Dylan Reagan, John Arnold, Caitlin Ham, Shayla Metzger, Michael Solak, Connor Long, Christina McCaffrey, Zach Rombau, Ashley Jablonski, Gina Piazza, Melissa Krozak, Christina Kosnowski, and Katie Sheffield, and Catherine Snyder, Catherine Snyder at $9 per hour as counselors. Tori Gamble as arts and crafts counselor for $9 an hour. John Georger is the tennis instructor. He does get $15 per hour. And then the substitute counselors will be Alexandria Green, Caitlin Cleese, Daniel Janik, Gabriel Mykonos, Jocelyn Giordano, and Alyssa Zeniak as substitute counselors, $9 per hour. And I thank Tony for this list. He did a lot of work putting these together. As I've stated previously, these are some of the hardest working kids in all of Boston and that are all in this area. That's why we have probably the best summer rec program that this county has. Make a motion that we take the recreation director's recommendations and appoint these individuals.
Second that.
Councilman Munger.
Yes.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Ballo.
Yes.
Councilman Boardway.
Yes.
Councilman Keenan.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 6, we have reports and presentations. Town clerk.
I have nothing this evening.
Highway superintendent.
Yes, since the last meeting, the highway department has replaced the 36-inch diameter pipe up on Keller Road where we had a sinkhole. The Parks Department supplied 2 flaggers for the day, which definitely helps us out. I'd like to thank them. Keller Road, the pipe was 80 feet long. We started in the morning. Within an 8-hour day, we replaced the pipe, had it re-blacktop, and opened up at the end of the day. I mean, that's a great job. The highway department did a great job on that. I mean, you can see like on South Abbott Road or some of the other county roads, when the county hires contractors to do it, the road's closed for a week to change one pipe. So I think the guys did a great job. Other than that, on Henrich Road and Valley Circle, we replaced the pipe that crosses the road there. As far as in the Parks Department, my highway guys helped the Parks Department haul topsoil down and reseeded the lawn down there at North Boston Park where we had a water line leak. I mean, the Parks Department helps the highway department helps the parks. It all works out well. So other than that, that's all I have tonight.
Thank you.
And I don't think I have anything tonight, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you. Councilman Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I do want to inform the public that we are moving forward with our website project. We, as a board, have decided on a look for the new website, and we are moving into our development stage. So, although we do not have a specific due date on when that is going to be done, we are moving forward, so that is a good thing. That is all.
Thank you. Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Under the fire companies, I met with the presidents, as I had promised in the past, and per our contract, I met with the presidents and our wealth management advisor, and I'm very happy to say that this quarter that we are under new wealth management, we made $111,000. Well, the Fireman's Fund made $111,000. About $68,000 went out to the people that are collecting. So that left us with a positive, about $43,000. So we're moving in the right direction. So I will have another meeting with them. It was twice a year per the contract, so we'll meet again to keep a good eye on this fund and make sure it goes in the right direction. The fireworks display, we ended up getting $4,975 donated. Checks are still coming in. A gentleman came in today, the supervisor's office, and said, what a fantastic show, came back with a check. I mean, that's what this community is about, helping out, putting on a display for all of our residents to view. It was an excellent display. It was larger than ever. I mean, we started this about 5 years ago. It's just taken off. We thank the Patchen Fire Company, as well as our friends at the State Troopers Barracks for helping with traffic control. Dad, were there any other fire company members, North Boston, Boston? I didn't see any, so I don't want to of course, not thank anybody else that might have been there. Under engineering, we're working on the grant for the splash pad now. We're also working on the Sherrill Road water extension. All these things are going on, during the summer. We only meet once a month, but we still are working on quite a bit. As the resident asked about the ice rink, we have thought about an ice rink. I think you're going to be very surprised this winter because in the whole 2017 200th anniversary, we're gonna have an ice rink here for the kids to utilize during the winter. We're also going to go for the largest snowman in the Guinness Book of World Records. So pray for snow, really. Let's see, what else? At the last meeting, we had a resident come up and question what I had said concerning my comments on the budget and the voting. I just want to make sure I clarify with the paper because they seem to have misquoted. What I said was at the November budget meeting, Supervisor Bela was absent. Councilman Murtha did vote no. He voted no because of the salaries. And you can certainly ask Councilman Bear, Councilman Murtha that question. What I said was this board unanimously voted to appoint the part-time clerks. Councilman Keating even sat in on the interviews for those part-time clerks. So that clarifies Mr. Shane's question. I just want to make sure that what I said clarify what I actually said. Also, next announcement is we're always looking for members for all of our boards. If anybody'd like to volunteer, we'd love to have you volunteer. There's just a handful of people that do a lot of work on the boards. We thank them. Planning, ZBA, ethics. If anybody's interested out there, please get a letter of recommendation to the town. Thank you very much, Mr. Supervisor.
And thank you, Mr. Supervisor. First and foremost, you've all heard me say this 1,000 times. We're lucky enough in this part of the county to have the tremendous benefit of both the New York State Police and the New York County Sheriff's Department protecting our town, our roads, and these guys are out there every single day. And anybody that watches the news notices the scrutiny that law enforcement officers are under at all times. So we want to thank the presence of a trooper here tonight for us. The fact that we have them directly across the street to be here in a matter of seconds if needed is a tremendous blessing to this community, and we need everybody out there on the road to pretty much thank and recognize them every time they get the opportunity. Beyond that, just one quick other thing. If anybody was watching the news earlier today, you might have heard the county executive, he likes to take credit for things he had nothing to do with. He did it again today, and I did receive some information from the county legislature, the majority leader, a little bit ago, just kind of clarifying that the county executive is out there basically taking credit for creating a $7.64 million surplus in the county's coffers this year, so to speak. We, as everybody knows, rely on some county money, some state money, federal money when we can get our hands on it. And unfortunately, the rest of that has to come out of your pockets. So the most we can get from them, we try to do that. He's sitting down there in the raft building right now taking credit for this $7.6 million surplus. What Legislator Rigo wants to point out, and I've been kind of asked to do that, is that only came from reducing spending. It came from a solid Republican legislature that kind of placed there along with Legislator Mills, who happens to be our district representative, reeling in for the most part the outrageous spending that's gone on in the county for the last 10 years. Without those reeling in of the spending, the surplus would be $300,000, not $7.6 million. So that being said, Mr. Supervisor, nothing else.
Councilman Keating.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just wanted to put out a friendly reminder to everyone for your trash or solid waste pickup. Please make sure it's out by 6 o'clock in the morning for the day that it's for your pickup. Once our website is up, we'll get the information back up, relating to holidays, when, such as, like, say, the 4th of July for myself, that impacted me. It was a day later. But Waste Management has had a couple of instances where their residents Trash supposedly was not picked up. Upon some of my investigation into it, I had Waste Management go back out to the residents and pick up the trash. However, they are saying that they will not do that any longer. So if anybody has any problems, or if they, say that they had their trash out at 6 o'clock in the morning, please feel free to reach out to me. My information will hopefully be up on the website. You can stop me at a meeting. I'll be happy to give you my phone number or email. Hopefully we can work with Waste Management to get this resolved. But right now, it seems like a small problem, but I did inform Waste Management. I'll put out a friendly reminder to all residents, 6 a.m. for your solid waste, the day that it's going to be picked up, because they can arrive around 6 o'clock, by 6 o'clock in the morning. One other, I bring this up at every meeting. We do have our Conservation Advisory Council meeting coming up this next coming Wednesday, the 13th. We are looking for members still. We still only have a group of 4 individuals working hard at the Conservation Advisory Council. They put on our town's fishing derby, as I always bring up. We do have an Environmental Awareness Day that our public hasn't seen in almost 2.5 years now. Unfortunately, it's just because we don't have essentially the manpower to man and staff it. So we are looking for volunteers. So if anybody has any interest in it, please feel free to let me know. And that is all I have tonight. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, I can give you an update on the pond. We are working on the pond. I did bring up the pond. The DEC application should be coming back hopefully soon. I'll be calling them again to see if I can get that moving for them. But we did need an application filled out. They said that we probably do not need any permits. However, should somebody come onto our property and say you need a permit in order to do the dredging for the lower pond, to remove some of the lily pads, and to open that up, if we don't need a permit, at least we'll have the paperwork in hand to show that we don't in fact need any permits. We will follow all those guidelines, and then once I receive that information back from the DEC, that will go out to bid, and that information will be presented to all of you in the public. And that's my update on the ponds.
Thank you, Councilman.
You're welcome.
Under the supervisor's report, I received a email from Senator Galvin releasing the details of additional highway funding. I was able to pass this on to our highway superintendent, but an additional $18,989.49 in highways TLEX CHIP fund for hopefully coating some more roads. Senator Galvin was able to get for our town, so that's a big plus. There was a multitude of other towns that he was able to get money for within his district too. Projects we've been working on in town, next to the bocce club, we put in a shuffleboard court. So the concrete has been poured, it'll be painted, the equipment will be here, and that will be finished. We also put some concrete for pads over at the tennis courts and some of the dugouts too, we're working on. And we took down the old bleachers at North Boston Park on Meadow, and we replaced them with new bleachers and a cement concrete pad there. We also, highway superintendent, got the crews down there, and we expanded that parking lot and put some proper drainage in along the edge over there. So I thank him for doing that, and he's going to be sometime this summer blacktopping South Park, the South Boston Park, down in Boston Cross Roads, the parking lot there that we've done. Also, Bob, I think not only the highway, the Parks Department did a fantastic job getting the parks ready for the 4th of July. The area looked fantastic out there, the flags, everything. I think it went off without a hitch. Again, I'd like to thank the troopers who were involved, obviously Patchen Fire Company who gave protection on such a dry night, and the town band who came in, and all those people showed up to play for the residents of Boston. We also, as Councilman said, we received $4,975 to date. I think it's important that we recognize people who sponsored this fireworks for the residents to come down here and enjoy. So just give me a quick moment. We had some gold sponsors in town. We had Cabela's, Chevrolet. These were $500 sponsors. Bronner's Eatery, JCL Communications LLC. We had Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey Genzone family, and we had Mr. and Mrs. Martin Ballo and family. These were all $500 sponsors. We had silver sponsors from $200 to $400. We had Mr. and Mrs. Michael Kobioka and family. We had Pat White Construction, Three Girls Cafe, and Beverly and Raymond Kent. We had bronze sponsors. We had Patchen Fire Company, Hamburg Overhead Door, North Boston Fire Company, Boston Fire Company, Rucker Lumber Incorporated, Evans Bank, B&W Custom Concrete, Alloy Welding, Boston Dental Group, Valley Fab and Equipment, Mr. and Mrs. Gerard Genzel, Mr. and Mrs. Walter McTee. Those were all $100 to $150 sponsors. And then we had sponsors, we had $25 to $50. We had Joyce Carr, we had Frederick Shear and Kyle Poole, and Mr. and Mrs. Jason Keating and family. So I thank everybody who sponsored that fireworks. We had about, I would say, 2,000 plus people here. It was really a nice family show for people to come and enjoy it, and enjoy the time band. So again, it was another year of a nice display put on. Other than that, I have nothing to report. So I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Councilman Munger,
Yes.
Councilman Genzel.
Yes.
Supervisor Bello.
Yes.
Councilman Bordway.
Yes.
Councilman Keating.
Yes.